It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports. And we'll see the Cowboys. Lengthy corner. He got the QB not once, but twice last week with a pair of interceptions. It's the Cowboys and the Eagles under the lights on Monday night.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Tonight it's the second of our Monday night doubleheader, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it, because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situation.
There he goes, right side. Inside the 20. DeAndre Swift. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DeAndre Swift, his third rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away, because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle.
And now off to the races, down the right side. Inside the 20. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A big play there. His fourth touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. That's a great response. You give up the first score of the game, but you go right down yourselves and get the equalizer.
I just had a flashback there. I remember playing in a game like that in college where one of my teammates had said in the media that week, the opposite team would be lucky to cross our goal line. They crossed it in the first minute of the game. On our first offensive play, we scored to answer back. Something similar to what we just saw there.
Very similar to what we just saw. Aubrey good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. DeAndre Swift and the Eagles back out there.
And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner.
Hurts. And that is incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Cowboys at 2-0 here to begin the season. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run. 32 yards.
Well, that's something that this defense is not going to be able to allow if they're going to have success here. They've got to be able to wrap up and get guys on the ground. They end up letting him get away, and it turns into a big play here early on. I can just see veteran observers of the game shaking their heads and talking about the dearth of tackling in the game today.
Stroud now on 1st and 10. Over the middle, it's complete. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 7-yard line.
On the bootleg, Stroud. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. Here goes Stroud again. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Aubrey now for the point after. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has a little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood. I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful of one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down. Well, this defense for the Cowboys very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Here's 3rd and 6. Throwing is Hurts. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They go play action with Hurts. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. He finds his man, complete. That's Rhodes. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Swift. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. DeAndre Swift with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 14. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone a run of 8 yards. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And out now come the Cowboys. Right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on. Both sides moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. He finds his man, complete. That's Fox. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Here's Stroud. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. Fielded just inside the 30. Oh, able to avoid him. Oh, the 48-yard punt. Give him 9, though, on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
63.
Here's Hurts to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now there's a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Stroud looking to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
When you're running the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available. And incompletion as a result.
Stroud sets up the play action. He completes it to Jones. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And space tough to come by there. So we'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
2nd down throw now from Stroud. Here's White. They set up the screen. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
We'll always talk about the athleticism we see from these guys on the field. How about the intelligence as well? He recognized that there was a screen pass on that one, broke off his pass rush, and got back to tackle the running back. That's great scouting and great reaction.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play there on the catch and run. 34 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Up the middle they go. Fox. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. I'm going to have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the side.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get out to the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
They call it a loss of a yard there. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Tommy Townsend now. They'll boot it away from about his 35. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. The Panthers pick up that first victory after losses in their first 2 ball games. Next, we'll stay in the NFC South as we head to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting L.A. Rams. Desmond Ridder leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference. Both these teams making their final halftime adjustments. We're just about ready to get back to football. So for the call of the second half, we get back up to Philadelphia and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback.
Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
23 yards, the final tally.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They run the counter. It's Fox. And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
19 tight.
And Stroud now to throw.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 27. Now a handoff up the middle. Fox. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Stroud.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
But normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now Stroud.
And his throw here is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
We need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Stroud to throw it.
Being chased out left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line. And you wonder, Charles, could that decision come back to haunt them later?
And it really could, because in this situation, you kick the field goal in a tight game like this, that's a good play.
Yeah.
But maybe what he's saying to himself is, I'm just not a big proponent of the old idea that any possession that ends in a kick I'm happy with. He wanted to be really aggressive.
A little twist here in the 3rd quarter.
They'll start on the ground with Swift.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Once again, it's Swift. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. And taken at the 46. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Dallas offense set for this next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
On 2nd down, it's Fox. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. And they'll go play action here with Stroud. Complete to Jones. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop it well short.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Now 2nd and 5. Hurts sets up to throw it. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles 1st. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
On first down, Hurts. He finds his man, complete. It's Rhodes. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
You've got to know as a quarterback that it's going to be tough to outthink this guy in the defensive backfield. He's been at it 11 years now, so he knows all the ins and outs of the position, and he's in the right spot there to come up with the interception.
So here are the Cowboys to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hurry, hurry! Hurry, hurry!
They'll start this drive out on the ground. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 74 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they turn to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on...
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. On second down now, it's Fox, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Stroud. Complete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And his kick here is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle here to Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Hurts thrown complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down.
Just more of the same here. It's back-to-back catches for him to start the drive. They've looked his way quite a bit, and with good reason, as this duo picks up yet another first down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Hurts. This will be caught by Brown. second down and a few inches.
The 38-yard line.
Throwing is Hurts.
Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Now Hurts going to shift him around a bit. Now they'll change things around before the snap.
They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Now Hurts going to get this to his running back, Swift.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
He's back to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are.
We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now he's into the clear again. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Meanwhile, Stroud's throw pulled in by Lamb.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short game.
This is White on the screen.
He's got room to roam. And even though he gets out of bounds to stop the clock, it's not going to matter. That 1st down going to be enough to write a finish to this one.
Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away.
Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run.
Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches.
White.
The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Stroud looks to throw.
And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
The Cowboys offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. Stroud's going to try to throw for the conversion. And it'll be intercepted.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. Hurts and the Eagles now down by 12. 34 seconds to go. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a first down. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
This offense has had its troubles moving the ball all night. So now you get in this situation, hard to imagine that suddenly they're going to start clicking and moving the ball downfield.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Rhodes. And brought down, but a big gain, a gain that they needed. And the only thing to keep in mind here is with him being tackled in bounds, that clock is moving. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half, the adjustment. Whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Dallas, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.